Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, Podcast Pete, and certified lifestyle coach. Your lifestyle is important. Your freedoms are important. We work on travel, time, wealth, location freedom, health, and when you are creative, magical things happen. We go from consumption, which a lot of times we're in that mindset, watching TV 4 hours a day, scrolling TikTok videos 2.5 hours a day. We're consuming media instead of creating your life. And we're going to be about creating your life. Okay, stay with me, and there's a special gift for you. If you go up to the Freedom Community, when you join, there's a $400 value. My two best courses, High Performance Habits Mastery, 12 modules, and Journaling for Personal Freedom. It's all about your freedom. It's all about community. Together, we're better. And I want to give you today, my friend Jeff Alley shared with me, Repack Your Bags. After retirement, he had to think, what is the next chapter going to look like? What is the next chapter going to look like? Put yourself in the shoes of any situation. Maybe you want to change careers. Maybe you want to have a side business that gives you the freedom. Maybe you've retired, that 65 number that arbitrarily gets thrown up there. You don't retire and do nothing. You retire and repack your bag. Jeff and I mentor over at Kennesaw Mountain High School. Once a month, we're with 25 sophomores. We're together. We're implementing and doing the Habitudes program with John Maxwell and North Metro. So we're helping pour into our kids. We do that once a month. Then I hang out with Jeff every week on Thursday because we're Rotarians, impacting the community, bringing freedom to the community because together we're better and we're focused on impacting. We probably have 30, 35, 40 programs going on in the community. You would never know about it unless you were there, unless you knew what was going on, because Rotarians and North Cobb Rotarians are making a major impact on the community, locally, and the world. So we talk about this. Now, if you're a business owner, you got to focus on these three because that's the critical thing. Create demand. Create demand, not supply. A lot of people work on whatever they're doing. They have plenty of supply of stuff. People don't care what your supply is. They care if there's demand for you. Now, creating it is what we do. Create demand and then deliver the best you can ever deliver. So you have raving fans. They can't help but share it with their friends because they had such an amazing experience. And when you focus on that experience of your ideal customer, word will travel. It'll travel fast. It's slower, but it's more effective. And together, we're always better. There's no such thing as a solo entrepreneur. It's team. It's community, surrounding yourself with the best possible people you can do. And that's why we invite you to the Freedom Community in School, SKOOL. And you can go to the QR code and join it for free. And when you join, I'm going to give you my two best programs, $400 value. Because we value your journey. We value your freedom. We value you and helping you to achieve one of the 6 freedoms and then keep learning, keep growing. We work with Growth Day. the largest personal growth community in the world, 300,000 plus people. You will not grow beyond your business. No, excuse me. Your business won't grow beyond you. You have to grow. You have to keep growing every day. We call it the 5 to Thrive. Now, wait, Brendan, how about being coached by the best in the industry? How about being surrounded with the most amazing people? Be challenged each day, uniquely coached, and then a related coach or trainer or teacher on that topic. I'm going to ask you a thought-provoking question so you can get to thinking, critical thinking. So you think, then you put your list of things to do. And when you do that, you know what you're focused on for the day. You always got to know what your priorities are, because without clarity, any distraction will take you off. You'll start checking emails. You'll start watching TV 4 hours a day. You'll start scrolling TikTok videos. And when that happens, you're not creating your life. And it's about you investing in you and creating your life. So thanks, Jeff, for letting me read this book and expose and sharing it with me, because it is repacking your bags anytime during your life, especially when you wind down a career and you have to think, what's the next chapter going to look like? How am I going to challenge myself? How am I going to stay connected to people? What was my purpose going to be? How am I going to grow each day? When that happens, aliveness just kicks in. And it's absolutely amazing when you get to that mindset. All right. Generating leads or demand will create cash flow. In my before my stroke, I had a digital marketing, small boutique, one maybe full-time, 4 part-time. After my stroke, almost 4 years ago, basically gone, because I was the bottleneck. So I'm out for 49 days plus. What does the team do? Because I didn't set up systems. I didn't have processes. I didn't have that location freedom, that travel freedom, that time freedom, and certainly didn't have the wealth freedom because of the way I set the business up. So you learn and then you change. You can't change the past. You can only impact the future from the lessons. So if you lean into learning and growing and being better and setting up your team, like now with Trex and Rolando, if for something should happen, they know what to do. They can keep servicing. They can keep pouring into the community, and nothing stops like it did. So the school community is where we add value to you, where we connect you to others. Together, we're better. And when we're all focused on our freedoms, time, creative, health, wealth, creative, and location, when you're working on those, you're working on your freedom, your personal freedom. And when you're leaning into your personal development, you're getting better each day. You're putting the fuel in the rocket. And when you put the fuel in the rocket, there's no telling where it can go. It can go to Mars. It can go beyond. Because your foundation has to have stories on it. And you have to keep building on those stories. It never stops. Not that you get burned out, but you do it with aliveness. You do it with connection. You do it with meaningful purpose. You do it with your personal growth. Okay, let me go. Let's see here. Okay, here's the 6 freedoms. I am going to go. Let me see how. Here's the school community I talked to you about. Scan the QR code. Now let's get into a little bit of a presentation so you can see and have reasons to start. Okay, hold on here. Repacking for freedom. Repacking for freedom. Remember Jeff's book, The Guide to the Good Life, based on the philosophy of repacking your bags by Richard Lanier and David Shapiro, fused with the architect of our 6 freedoms. The life is a journey, but you're carrying too much. But we can move forward. We must stop, check our inventory, decide what truly belongs on the road ahead. What are you carrying? We're all carrying luggage. You have to declutter to reclutter. And you're not recluttering, you're just prioritizing better. We're not just physical items. It represents beliefs, priorities, commitments, and habits. The problem, without inspection, we carry baggage that no longer serves us. We operate with an outdated assumptions, and we carry weight of other people's expectations. The goal is to unpack the emotional and intellectual weight that hinders growth and repack only what carries you forward with meaning. Define the good life. Living in a place you belong, with people you love, doing the right work on purpose. Fulfillment comes from clarifying this personal vision, not adapting a prepackaged formula. It's got to be your purpose, your connections, your relationships, growing every day, having that travel freedom, that location freedom, that time freedom, wealth freedom. Because if you've retired and you don't have the resources to travel, that's something you can work on. If you don't have location freedom, where you can work from a cafe in France to Costa Rica on the beach, those are the type of location freedoms that are possible. But you have to be clear about what you want. The process of unpacking. Take stock of what weighs you down, create space for clarity, and reduce overwhelm. Repack. Choose what you take forward based on your gifts, passions, and values. Adjust. Life is an ongoing journey of adjustment. As roles change and self-understanding evolves, you must continually revisit your load. Excuse me. This is about identifying what enriches your life and ruthlessly let you go on what doesn't. Ruthlessly letting go of what doesn't. No meaningful life is built in isolation. Together we're better. That's why we invite you to join the Freedom Community, where together we're better. You get to meet people. You get to be around freedom builders, people that want to lean into their freedoms. It's possible, but it doesn't just magically happen. It takes intention, it takes effort, it takes the right people, being clear on what you want to do. Which freedom are you going to work on? Is it going to be the time one? When I worked on my time, now I will have 3 5-hour days. 3 5-hour days. I have, in that first 5 hours, I'm crafting my day. I drink, I think, I journal, I read, I plan, and I implement. I do the same thing every single day. Every single day. It's become a habit. And when those kind of habits get established, you start moving forward more intentionally, more clear, more focused. And that helps in your journey for the freedoms that you're looking to attain, looking to work towards. Core concept: relationships and community matter deeply. We all are born to be in community. You can be an introvert, which I am, and you can be an extrovert, which I am. I'm both. If I had to be out all the time, my battery would be drained. But I'm in perfect silence most of the day. If I'm not doing this, or not hosting a podcast, or not creating a course, or coaching, it's completely silent. That feeds my battery. That recharges me. So when I go to Rotary on Thursday morning, or church on Sunday with Grace Community, I'm ready to connect, ready to be around people because my battery is charged. You have to know yourself. Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Are you a combination of both? You got to be who you are. You can't be an extrovert if you're an introvert. Now you can learn how to embrace your uniqueness, your superpower, and it's possible. There was a lady in our Rotary Club, and she was scheduled to be president, but her and her husband are moving to the mountains, so it's not going to be, the location will not work. She shared with me a book. She was an introvert, but she had to gain the skills to embrace who she was. And it was amazing. She asked questions. That helps her connect with people. She's not the person that would come into a crowd and everybody would know are there. She's intentionally having deeper relationships with individuals through conversations. So that was her way of leaning into her superpower. And it obviously worked because she was on track to be president, was nominated, was supported by the board, supported by the people in there. So be who you are. Lean into your superpower. Know who you are. Know what you deliver to the universe, to the world, to your local community, and do it to the best of your ability. And keep getting better. Never stops. Learning never stops. I had a gentleman I was coaching, and we were talking about his learning journey. You need to have a focus on your learning. There's so much information out there. If you just arbitrarily, it's kind of like you're watching TV. You're just consuming stuff. You have to be focused. What are you trying to get better at? Then surround yourself with that type of information so you can get better, not just get entertained by it. And that's the problem with some people with AI. It's very entertaining. You can answer any question. It's what we call the 80% of the heavy lifting. It's still you. You're the 20%. When we do presentations like this and we're doing it about a person, it doesn't have the exact picture of the person yet, but it's about 80%. So you got to do the 20%. Put your voice on the presentation. Put your fingerprint on the presentation. Let the AI do 80% and you do the 20% that can't be done by anybody else but you. Because you're special. Bring your uniqueness, bring your superpower to the world. Okay, Why it matters. Supportive relationships act as sounding boards. They deepen insight, holding you accountable and enriching your experience. Let me just double check here. Hold on. I want to make sure. Yeah, there we go. Maybe I can make this a little bit smaller. Let me see. I don't know. No, I don't think you're going to be able to see that. Okay, let me go back. Okay, hold on here. To attain the good life, you need a tribe, a school community. So go to the QR code, scan it, get access to the $400 two of my best courses so you can activate your freedom. You can supercharge your life because you got to have those skills. You got to keep getting better at what you do. You got to understand your clarity. You got to have the focus. You have the energy, the productivity, the influence, and the courage. That's what you'll learn with the courses. And then when you get into freedom through personal journaling, you learn more about yourself. You get those thoughts out of your head onto paper. It absolutely rewires your brain. And from a guy that was so distracted to a very focused, intentional person, I've seen the transformation. Took a year of coaching. It took 2 years of growth day. But man, I'm excited. The future is bright, and it can be for you too. Okay. The roadmap to repacked life. There's the time, the location freedom, the health freedom, the wealth freedom. And let me just touch on wealth. If you want to be a multimillionaire, that's great. But there's steps to it. If you talk to somebody that's achieved that, they didn't happen overnight. What we talk about wealth is if your overhead is $5,000 and you can set up a reoccurring passive income that comes in and it's at the number of 7 or 6, you're free. Because you know when you wake up that morning of that first of the month, you've got 6,000 already pre-planned for the month. So you're not concerned about, do I have enough to pay the bills? Do I have enough to fuel my business? Do I have enough to get by? Will I have enough to eat? Will I have enough to provide for my family? Those thoughts go out the window and you're focused on what can really grow you. And that's wealth freedom. So get that first. Be free to be yourself, to work on health. Because if you're neglecting your health, when it hits, all these other freedoms go out the window. Because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. You only have one goal, get it back. So prioritize it now. That's why I go to the gym 6 days a week. I'm on a bike. I don't do the 10,000 steps that a lot of people do. Because for me, walking is mental stress because I have to think about every step I take. Now, will that be forever? I don't know. But it's been that way for 4 years. So I have to accept the cards that were dealt. Now I've got to figure out how to play that hand. And for me, going to the gym on a bike with a back, I focus. I close my eyes and I focus on what I want to learn. And I can't wait to get there because I've stacked all these habits. It's my way to energize my body, my mind, and a routine that helps me to learn. So I'm focused. I know what I'm going to listen to most of the time. If I don't know exactly, I know that the general theme of what I'm working on the 6 freedoms, building the community, creating massive value for my clients. So they tell people Word of mouth spreads, raving fans spread because you get such an amazing experience with the Freedom Builder program. You tell everybody. I haven't done to date any social media, any advertising. Will I do it in the future? I don't know. But right now, I'm focused on making the community as strong as it possibly can, connecting people and helping individuals get real clear about their future, because clarity matters. Former ADHD and dyslexic, I've got an active brain. Now I have a focus, active brain on creativity. So when you look at time, location, health, wealth, creative freedom, and travel freedom, it all starts with personal growth. Wrap personal growth around, leverage the major trends, entrepreneurial, digital, crypto, specifically Bitcoin, mobile, and you can work from anywhere. And when you look at the trends that are happening, because if you're not creating digital assets and planting seeds online like this, and that this video could be enjoyed 10 years from now, and you're doing activities, and I'll say an activity is like an event you go to. Let's just use BNI as an example. If you know what that is, it's Business Network International. A lot of people do it because they're trying to generate leads. The one thing you have to think about, how much time does it take you driving to the event every week, having to listen to 40, 50 people, whatever the size is, give their pitch every week. Then you have to listen to the round of referrals. Now you have to do your one-on-ones. Now you have to do whatever you're connected, whatever you're doing within that, serving in the membership, serving on whatever committee you are. That's your time. And today, we have a global world. Before, when it was local, that was good because there was nothing else. And that's why they're all over the place. But the world changed to global. We like to say, play in the local box, local sandbox. It has limitations. To play in the global box where there's billions of people that can enjoy you. That's where your opportunity of people that don't know you yet. So if that's something you want to play in the global sandbox, join our community. We'll share with you the mind shift that needs to happen for you to have that abundant, bright future. Okay. Time freedom. The obligation to trade hours for dollars and adhere to someone else's calendar. Freedom to repack. Gaining complete control of your own schedule. Takes a lot to get there. That's why it's easier to work for somebody else, because you have a certain amount of pay that you get, and you're going to get a paycheck every week. But as an entrepreneur, there's no guarantees. If you don't create value, you don't get paid. So it's tougher, a whole lot tougher. Anybody tells you being an entrepreneur is an easy journey, they're just telling you the wrong stuff, because it's going to test every bit of you. And if you're up to do it and want to learn how to have that time freedom, it's possible. But you got to get better. You got to prioritize better. You got to get clarity. You got to have the energy, the courage, the productivity, and the influence to grow. Not just take a paycheck. The ability to decide exactly how to spend your day, prioritizing what matters most to you. Every day I decide what I'm going to do. Every day I have those 5-hour chunks. So I get 3 days in one, most get one. Everybody has 24 hours. How they spend it, how they prioritize matters. The people that are achieving high levels of things that you look up to, you're going to find that they use their 24 hours different than you. Because if you learn how to leverage your time, you learn how to add value, you learn how to start creating habits, then you'll get in a flow that will give you location freedom. Being tethered to a specific office, commute, or city just to earn a living. Okay, freedom to repack, building a global digital business that operates regardless of your geography. The liberty to work and live from anywhere. My business is set up. I could be in Costa Rica working. I could be in Paris working. I could be across town working. It doesn't matter. As long as I have an internet connection, I can coach, create content like we're doing right here, and create courses. That's all. I have 9 courses to date. I create content. If you search my name, and I go ahead and do it, Podcast Pete or Pete Kane Podcast, 5 pages you're going to see of Google. Many, many podcasts, many programs out there. So you have a chance to go on a journey with me. Now, whether you know, like, and trust after you go on that journey, that's your decision. But there won't be like a well-kept secret. Wow, I wonder what that guy's like. People don't go onto your website and dig deep into your website like they used to. Used to be when I had the digital marketing business, if you could have 2 lines on the first page of Google, yeah, you were golden. World changed. People don't look at your LinkedIn profile. They don't look at your website like you think they should. They don't have time. They want to see content out there, and they have to be interested in you. Keyword, interested. If they're not interested, they won't even listen to 2 seconds of you. But if you put content out there and you can help people go on a journey with you because they're interested in solving a problem and they believe you have the solution, they're going to get to know you. When I first started my journey with Bitcoin, I was interested. Thousands of hours later, I know where that's going. 21 million coins. And if you can't create these patterns in your life where you have time to look at things deeper than most and you just surface learning, you'll miss it because you won't see the pattern. Hey, if you had a house in 1971, it was worth $25,000. The median house today, almost 50 years later, it's $500,000. What went up? Well, your dollar went down and the inflation went up. Something like 13% a year, you lose $1. So if you started with $1 million 10 years ago, it's going to decrease by 10 to 13%. It's going to be a small portion of that because they keep printing and printing and printing supply. And when supply gets printed, your demand is affected. It's called inflation. And that's why when we had COVID, they printed 40% more money supply. People weren't even working because they were getting paid more to stay at home. My friends in the restaurant business struggled in the service business because they couldn't find people. Nobody wanted to work. I got a paycheck and I don't want to work. Bad decision, but they did. They said, hey, I'll just sit at home and get money. Well, all of a sudden inflation skyrocketed because there was more money supply, printed more money. You can't print more money and the values stay the same. Doesn't work that way. Too much supply, it affects the demand. That's why we're in the situation that we're in. We went off the gold standard in 71. We devalued gold. And now it's worth less. So people are straddled with student debt. They're straddled with credit card debt. And their buying power keeps going down. And when your buying power keeps going down, you're not keeping up or getting ahead. So location freedom, health freedom, neglecting the body in pursuit of your career or your lifestyle. If you're not investing in your body, in your health, Crystal Duke, a friend of mine, she's a health and fitness coach. She helps people set a priority for their health, helping them make that mindset shift that investing in your health will pay significant dividends. But if you neglect your health and you have 10 other goals, when that health goes, you only have one: get your health back. And you don't want to be in that position. You want to prioritize. It's a big rock, as we call it. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. You're fueling yourself right. You're not sitting in front of the TV eating a bag of Doritos or a half a gallon of ice cream and feel that the outcome's going to be good. It's not. You're going to have less energy, less focus, and your health is going to decline. Got to get it moving and grooving, as we say. Movement is medicine. Got to get that body moving and fuel it right. Learn about what it takes. That's why you can look up Crystal Duke, CFIT, and you can get a session with her to start prioritizing your health and fitness. Prioritizing physical well-being as the foundation of everything. You can't get any of these other freedoms if you don't have your health. So don't wait. Prioritize it now. Having the energy and vitality required to actually enjoy your life you're building. Wealth freedom. Financial anxiety and the rat race of increasing lifestyle costs. Inflation. That's what's happened. But if you can just get sustainable reoccurring revenue above what you need for that month, you're free. You're free. You're free to do anything you want. And that's what we help people. Go to the QR code, scan it, join our community. When you join our community, you get $400 worth of value from my two most special courses. I love them. High Performance Habits Mastery, 12 sessions, clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. And then the mastery side of it, persuasion, psychology mastery, purpose mastery, productivity mastery. And those are the kind of things that's going to help you get better. Having that energy, having that clarity, having that courage, having a system, productivity system where you can get 3 days in one. Does it happen overnight? No, but you got to lean into it and prioritize it. So achieve when you have reoccurring monthly income consistently covering all your overhead is a shift from making money to creating cash flow. Okay, creative freedom, so powerful. My friend Christy Stevens, a Rotarian of mine, she teaches art classes to seniors and people wanting to express their freedom, the freedom of creating, teaching. That's what she loves to do. She's leaning into her creative freedom. And when you do that, it's like you fill up. When you lean into your creative side and you express your freedom through being creative, and as she described in her own words, when she's in front of a class pouring into her seniors, that's what she loves to do. Well, we want to help her do more of that, help her connect with more activity directors so they can experience When I was at Overture, there was a lady that used to be an art class. Used to be an art teacher. So the monthly art classes were the most popular. People love because they're there creating. And she loved to do that. Instead of watching TV and scrolling TikTok videos, she was creating a class each month, a unique class built around creating it for her people that were there. Working within your genius zone on projects you love rather than fulfilling a job description written by someone else. Design your own lifestyle and work. Travel freedom. My friend Craig is in Greece and he's working wherever he wants, traveling, having a good time. That's possible. He'll be on the podcast either next week or the week after that. The baggage to unpack. The deferred life plan, waiting until you retire to see the world. See it now. Work it into your lifestyle. Get your financial freedom done so you can take those vacations along the way. So your lifestyle is better because you're not waiting, because that day may never come, or your health may never be where it needs to be to travel. Do it now. Do it now. Work on it, because travel freedom, as my friend Jerry Boaz, he travels to chase history. And what it means is he likes to go, him and his wife like to go places that he's read about and he can be at that place. So he's doing his traveling intentionally with a purpose, as opposed to maybe somebody say, I don't like going through TSA. I don't like being away from the house. He does it with a mindset of chasing history. So it's a different traveling experience. And we'll be having him on our podcast again, exploring the world now. Instead of putting it off for the future that isn't guaranteed, you integrate exploration into your current life. Finding the vehicle. Philosophy gives you the why. The 6 freedoms gives us the what. But how do you fund and sustain this lifestyle? Join our freedom community. Be around freedom builders. Get that course, those 2 valuable, my best courses, because I want to start your journey. I want to almost like a rocket, give you the fuel to start that freedom journey. You have 6 freedoms that we work on, and we work on ourselves first. We need a business model that supports these freedoms rather than compromising them. We need a vehicle designed for this journey. The 3 pillars of business: got to generate leads, demand, it's the lifeblood, create cash flow, the monetizing engine. You got to have cash flow, or you have a hobby, or you have a business that's going to go out of business. The school community, the environment for growth. It's all possible through intentional personal growth. Why the school community matters? Because together we're better. In helping, learn, connecting to people, being around people of like-minded, everybody's working on their freedoms. Everybody's helping each other. And I'm coaching you through, as a certified high-performance lifestyle coach, I'm coaching you through the experience too. So you're able to not only get clear about your future, you have the energy, the courage, the productivity, and the influence. And if you have local influence, that's great. But what about global influence? What does your online profile look like? Through the school community, scan the QR code right in the upper left-hand corner. Join, you get $400 worth of free courses. My value, my gift to you. I want to give these to you to start your journey, because the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. The first step is join the school community. Then if you want to go faster, that's your decision. Your decision to invest in yourself in the future. It's available. Have a track to run on. Be clear about your future. Have a community to support you. Simple tools to grow. Streamline technology. Everyone can build a community. And the model seeing is believing, moving from free to paid. When you're ready to invest in yourself, there's options. The first option is $97 a month. What is it? A couple dinners out, maybe one dinner, depending on where you are, to see it. Because if you don't want to be there, it's month to month. If you don't want to be there, I don't want you to be there. So if you don't get the value that we help you with, our team of Trexa and Rolando and myself, high performance coaching, and others to support and help you. If you don't want it to, you don't have to. No commitment, except your time. And seeing is believing. See how we can help you. See how we can free up your time, give you a location freedom, wealth freedom, creative freedom. That is possible with today. Start today. The foundation of the journey, leveraging the major trends, AI, digital asset, mobile tech, environmental, entrepreneurial revolution. All these are happening. The asset revolution is there. This is an asset being created. Invest in your personal growth. Growth Day. That's the fuel. That's the fuel of the rocket. And the Freedom Community in School is going to, let me see. Hold on here. I want to come back. I can see you. Okay. So go to, oops, hold on now. I got that. Go to pkane.me/school or scan the QR code right above my head. There. Join the school community. Start your journey today. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Be bold, make an impact, and have fun.